Welcome to Working for Progress, a podcast that connects us through conversations about how we craft our working lives and make progress. Through open and thoughtful conversations, our podcast starts with simple pleasures, finishes in awe, and meanders through career journeys in between. This podcast is rooted in Tribe Porty, a community co-working space and creative hub filled with entrepreneurs, freelancers, charities, social enterprises, and SMEs. We believe in the power of connection, sharing stories that inspire, challenge, and celebrate the many ways we shape our working lives. Join us as we dive into the realities of work, purpose, and progress, one conversation at a time. Today we welcome Liz Gration. Liz is a freelance marketeer specialising in SEO, digital PR, and content writing. She works with businesses of all sizes to help improve their online presence and drive more sales. Outside of work, Liz is also a poet, artist, and completes as a Strongwoman. Welcome, Liz.
Hello.
Nice to have you here. We're going to start out really simple with your 5 simple pleasures.
Ooh. That's a good question. Animals. Dougie.
All animals? Just animals in
Animals. General. I think I feel very calm around animals. Obviously, Dougie's my main boy in the whole wide world. He's my dog and he's 4 today. It's his birthday, so shout out to Dougie.
Oh, happy birthday, Dougie.
But I think I grew up around a lot of countryside horses and sheep and cows and dogs and cats, and I don't know, I find animals very calming. So they're a simple pleasure. Humans are also animals, I guess. I don't like a lot of those as well. Messing about, being silly, having a laugh. That's a very simple pleasure. Finding something really ridiculous and silly and funny in normal, non-funny situations is a joy, is a pleasure.
I feel like I can attest to that.
Being creative, writing poems, like making music or drawing, painting, even my work. Like I think doing something that makes something. It's very fun. Yeah. 2 more.
Or if you can think of one, or you can finish that. One more.
Pleasure. Passion. Like love, I just love when people love things. Like, if someone's really, really interested in something, even if it's not very interesting to me, like they're an antique coin collector or they're into like train spotting, and they tell me about it, I am so interested in that already, like, because they're really passionate about it.
Yeah.
I think it's infectious. So I think like passion of any kind. Yeah.
I get that. I actually get a really hard time from my husband because we met on Match. That shows how old we are. But I just listed that I like everything. One, because it's easier just to tick all the boxes. But I genuinely like you. Like, if someone's really into it, I find it really exciting. Like, the lack of engagement or the lack of having any passions whatsoever is like the opposite.
Yeah.
So I think I agree. People get excited about things. It's interesting.
Yeah. I've just thought of another one.
Yeah, good.
Popping spots.
Excuse me?
Popping spots. And pop.
Oh, popping spots. Mm-hmm. I thought you were saying popping spots, which I didn't know what that was.
Spot popping videos.
Oh, no.
I love it.
That ties into your last one, because Dr. Pimple Popper is so excited about gross things that she cuts open and squeezes out. Cheese, mashed potatoes. She loves to call them mashed potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
She makes me off mashed potatoes. Thank you. Those are the most unusual ones we've had so far, for sure. Okay, we're going to swap to values. Do you have 3 top values, or values that kind of central around you and your work?
Yeah. So I think passion, very similar to what I said before, and like compassion and everything that encompasses. So just like caring about what you're doing. I think it's a very, very nice attribute in other people, and it's something that I always am like, it's the top of my priority list in terms of like how to conduct myself, I guess. So like it's a value I'll always come back to in and out of the workplace. I think that's really important. authenticity and just feeling like you're being true to what you believe in and sticking by those kind of values and the way you relate to the world, kind of really connecting with who you are as a person. And pliability, is that a value?
Can be anything you want.
Yeah, so like openness, adaptability to change, and like really like not just like introspection, but also like the ability to see things from other people's points of view and just like mould and move with the world.
What are you working on just now? I'm curious.
Loads of fun things. So freelancing with my SEO, digital PR, content writing. So a lot of like small local Edinburgh businesses and then like bigger, large, national, multinational companies. Lots of fun campaigns. Trying to write this poetry book and get it finished, which is really difficult, isn't it? When I find when I'm doing stuff for clients, I'll see it through and I'll get it done and I'm really on top of it. But any of my own stuff, I'm hopeless. You know, it's always on the back burner. But it's definitely something that I want to carry on with and get done. And then, yeah, just fun life stuff, painting, lifting weights.
Have you got a kind of USP for yourself? Like what's your thing?
In terms of work?
Yeah.
I think the passion, for sure. Like, I think it shows from a million miles away when a client can tell that you're really enjoying what you're doing. And I think that, and I guess so it comes back to the values, like the adaptability to change as well, you know, like because with SEO, Google's algorithms constantly changing, with marketing, what people want, the way people are searching is constantly changing. AI is also always evolving, like being kind of excited about that and like always wanting to be kind of one step ahead and moving a lot is really valued by a lot of people. So I think, yeah, a USP would be, yeah, just the being all in, I think, and getting just as excited about the brand or the charity or the organisation as they are, you know, being on their side rather than being like an external thing.
I want to hear a little bit about your kind of working life journey. Can we start with your most random or your most hated job that you've ever done?
I didn't hate it, but it was random, and it was the clay pigeon shoot ground in near where I lived when I was growing up. I hated it in the sense that I had to get up at the crack of dawn on a Sunday morning to stand in a cold, freezing field of old men with rifles shooting clay discs in the sky. And like it was before like they were big on like ear protection and stuff, so us kids who worked there, who were definitely like on, I don't know, I think we got paid a tenner for like 5 hours work, but we got a chip butty, so we definitely have hearing problems now because it was so loud. Yeah. And I remember we were trappers, so they'd say the blokes with the guns would shout pull, and then the disc, we'd press the button, the disc would come out, and you had to say whether or not they've hit it. And I had really bad eyesight and it was before I had glasses, so I didn't know half the time, and I'd just look at them and I'd be like, did you get that, Ian? And be, yeah, all right. And then I swear to God, none of the results were right, so apologies. But
they liked you, they're like, oh, I got all those.
Yeah, and I used to get to stroke the dogs as well. I used to get to hold the dogs while they played, so it was good.
What about the biggest risk you've taken, either professionally or even personally, to date?
Going freelance. I'm still doing a little bit for the agency that I used to work for, but the majority of my weeks are now freelancing. And it's just kind of like, yeah, it's scary, I think. You really throw yourself in there. I think the unknown of like when the next bit of work's coming and stuff like that is quite scary, but also very exciting.
Have you managed to kind of trust that those kind of peaks and troughs usually play out over time. And because I think the problem with freelance is you worry when you're not doing work instead of planning ahead, and then you're too busy to plan ahead when you've got too much work on, and there's never a kind of feel good in that scenario.
Yeah, I think so. I guess it's just like often it's the way where there'll be quieter days and months and weeks, and then all of a sudden it all comes at once, you know, like, and then you can't handle it. Well, you can, but it's just like it's more difficult to like manage. But I think over time I've definitely gotten used to the lack of predictability of it and learnt to like roll with it, I think.
How long have you been freelance?
2.5 years part-time freelancing, and then now just a few months more full-time freelancing.
Okay. Is that the first time you've been mostly freelance? Yeah, so this is a new era.
Yes, very much so.
Nice. How do you balance the kind of I guess the creativity with the focus on your working life, and do you plan for the future? Or how do you cope with that kind of being full-time freelance, but also a kind of longer term gaze at your working life?
Yeah, so I think it's difficult. I don't know if I do a very good job of it. I think that I think when it's something that you enjoy, it can be really hard to balance the like personal life and the work life. But separating things for me, like coming to Tribe and having that as like a dedicated like I'm working now space is really, really helpful. And then just like checking in with myself and like going and doing things I really enjoy, like being in nature or being in the sea, and just like switching off and allowing myself to just ground and be like, okay, when you remove yourself from the situation, you can kind of find where you were a bit better, where you want to be.
Do you have a 10-year plan, or do you think about not retirement, because I know you're super young, but kind of that phase of working life, and what is there a goal basically is what I'm trying to say? How do you think about the future?
I don't love goals. I think that sometimes we can get a little bit too fixated on getting to a certain place, being a certain thing. So whether it's like managing a company with like loads of employees, or having like a book published, or being in a certain category in terms of my weightlifting or whatever, like all of these things sound cool and they might be nice to have, but what's really, really important to me is just enjoying every single day. You know, like I want to, if I get run over by a bus tomorrow, I want to look back and go, oh, yesterday was good. You know, I don't want to be like, I really don't like that mindset of like, oh, well, when this happens, then I'll be happy. Like, I think the thing I really strive for, and I think like I'm doing a good job of, is making sure that I'm genuinely loving what I'm doing when I'm doing it. So yeah. So
more in the moment, day by day, rather than this goal in the future that is probably going to be disappointing when you reach it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think that in terms of like success and stuff, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to like have these like external, when I was younger especially, I kind of thought that being successful would be like, it was like a byproduct of what the world thought of me almost, you know, like being loved and having that partner and children and family, or being in kind of like, I don't know, kind of, yeah, just being successful and you've made it in life and that's the meaning of life, when actually I genuinely don't think life has a meaning at all. And I think that having been like, because when I was young I was really, I've been through phases where I've been really sad, and I think that if anyone has experienced that, you'll know that just like literally putting one foot in front of the other and doing like today is a massive success. Like that is achieving your goals. Do you know what I mean? So wanting to do that, I think, is like, yeah, the ultimate ambitious target, and it's I'm doing it. Everyone's doing it. So I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, that was kind of my next question, kind of that definition of success. But maybe thinking it differently, and yeah, how do you motivate yourself to... Well, I don't know. I think it can be hard to not have any goals because then you're kind of just bumbling along. I think it's hard to have too many goals and then you're racing to something and not enjoying the process. But yeah, how do you get that balance right in terms of, I guess, your working life mostly, but maybe we should stop speaking like that because it isn't just about work, is it? It's about all those other things that you have in your life, weightlifting and your dog and the writing and the painting. But just thinking about maybe younger listeners or people that don't work that way. Yeah, how do you balance all that and how do you keep your motivation in the longer term?
Yeah, I think, despite all of that I just said, having discipline and working towards something is really important. Because, I would hate to win the lottery, right? I don't want to be a millionaire. I think that's so bad for you. I
agree.
Having everything, quotation marks, is just not healthy because then we don't want to do things and we've got nothing to, push ourselves for and work towards. So I think that, yeah, having goals can be really great and healthy as long as it's what my biggest goal, I guess, is Dougie, keeping him happy and healthy and, looking after my dog. Or I guess making targets that are really realistic, that can be broken down and achieved in really small, tangible, as much as the cliche, but smart goals, and just finding a way is the most important thing, I think, of enjoying working towards those little goals and feeling good with it. Because if you don't like something, then you're probably not gonna want to do it.
But unfortunately, be good at it either, probably.
It is hard because not everyone's fortunate enough to enjoy what they do, and that's the reality of it. I've just struck gold even at the clay pigeon shoot ground when I was soaking wet at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. My mates were there and I was stroking a dog. Do you know what I mean? I think you can... It's like that... what's his name? That Greek... It's one of the tales of the guy pushing the boulder up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And
Atlas, no?
I'm not sure.
No. Take that out if I'm wrong.
I don't think he ever got it up. Was that the story? He was
yeah, he just continually pushed it up.
Yeah. And then I think when he let go of that whole this has to mean something and we're gonna, he was content, So yeah, I don't know. Sounds a bit hippie, doesn't it, my answers? But
no, I think these conversations are all about this though, and people's different approach. And I'm thinking about, has there always been something in you, even as a young person, young girl, that you say you struck gold with the clay pigeon, but maybe it was the way you were approaching everything and you could see what the good stuff was and you didn't get bogged down with the negatives of it, even though you were aware of them. You still say you struck gold. So maybe it's more of a mindset or an approach rather than luck.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you see that in yourself in terms of how you approach your life, your work, your relationships? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of my friends take the mick out of me a lot for being very glass half empty, Wait, no.
Half full.
Glass half full.
Yeah. I was wait, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the opposite.
Yeah, for always being but we'll be all right. Last night at Edinburgh Street Food, I was the person I was with was saying, oh God, we'll never find a space. That one's disabled, that one's reserved. And I was like, there'll be one. What did I say? I can't remember, but I was it's a nice little bit to drive around anyway, isn't it? Just finding something. But I think that's probably stemmed from kind of bad things, really, when I was younger, struggling with masking. Well, I didn't know I was masking at the time, or deflecting and stuff, because I really wasn't very happy with, or I didn't know who I was, and I knew I didn't feel like I fit in that much. So I think looking back now, since getting an ADHD diagnosis, I'm I was trying to be the class clown. I was trying to always, come on, it's all right, because I was terrified really of being alone with my thoughts, or like the realities of the possible negative stuff or whatever it was, you know. So there's definitely a balance in that. The glass is, you know, technically it is half empty and half full.
That's true.
So yeah,
I love it. Can we briefly talk about poetry and maybe what poetry gives you?
Oh, everything. You know, I didn't write poems, I didn't read poems, anything growing up. It just happened. It really did. Like, only a few years ago, I just started writing stuff that came into my head, and then they were poems. And I think when you start writing something, like, see, I write thousands, tens of thousands words sometimes in any given week for work. And it's very different, I think, to writing creativity and writing from the heart. And it was the first time in my life I'd ever written, like, I'd never had a diary or anything growing up. And I think I was just, like, letting the words kind of, almost putting them in the notes app on my phone before bed because I couldn't get to sleep, you know, because my brain was so busy. And as a result, all these poems came out, and it's just so cathartic. It's like, they were just like, oh, and it's like, I'd look at them and I'd be like, oh, that's how I'm feeling. Because I didn't know, I'm not very...
Helped you process it all.
Yeah, it's very difficult, I think, for me to connect with how I'm feeling at the time. So that, yeah, it just did it for me. And I don't love theories to do with poems. I think sometimes when you study stuff, it can take away from the beauty of it. So I just made it all up as I went along.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Last question. The last time you experienced a sense of awe, or you were in a state of flow?
I'll go with awe.
Okay.
So a year ago, just not long after I'd moved up here, I was at Till's, the coffee shop round the corner, and one of the baristas, who I'm now friends with, dropped and smashed a load of glasses, like a big tray of all these glasses, and it made a massive noise. There was loads of customers in, they were clearly really busy, and the guy next to her, another barista, who's like much bigger than her, big deep voice Irish guy, who now I'm very friends with as well, I didn't know at the time, he turned around to her and my heart was in my mouth. Like, I thought he was going to have a go at her, or like I braced, you know, like ready for the consequence. And he just went, Mazel Tov, and helped to clean it up and made her feel better about it. And then like 2 weeks later, I had a really similar experience where I was in Aldi car park and there was a woman with two little kids. One of them was a baby in the pushchair and another one was a toddler, and this young lad, he must have been 2 or 3 years old, was screaming. He was thrashing his arms around. He was clearly having like a massive tantrum, like he wasn't okay. And she turned around to him and I was like, oh my God, she's going to give him a good hiding. And she just leant down and like held him. And oh my God, because my heart went from being in my mouth, like terrified, to just being like, what? And I think because I hadn't experienced any of that, like my autopilot is like, right, shit's gonna hit the fan, you know? And seeing over and over again that happen, where like the path doesn't always have to be so turbulent, or, you know, like, was very beautiful. And I've been fortunate enough to experience it myself and just see that kindness from people increasingly, you know, like in the last few years of my life. And yeah, I think it's just that normal human kindness it does give me a sense of awe, I think.
Oh, that's really lovely. It is nice when you see the best in people, and a situation which we've all seen people get told off, or you know, mom shouting at their kids misbehaving. We've all seen that. But yeah, it's really nice when you see the flip side, the best side that we can offer.
Yeah. When
someone really gives someone time and attention and care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe from a super critical parent. We'll not go there. That's really lovely. On a similar but kind of lesser vein, even watching the tennis, which I don't normally get into, but I watched the final men's, and it was so nice to hear the young lads like speak so complimentary of their teammates and the line people and their person they were playing against, they were so sweet and complimentary. I thought, okay, that makes me feel so much better. No one had a tantrum. No one smacked their racket on the ground because they didn't get a call that they wanted. Yeah. They didn't sound egotistical at all. They all thanked their coaches and thanked them for being better humans because of the people that were supporting them. And I thought, okay, I feel like maybe there's a shift coming.
Yeah. It's like that with Strongwoman. Like, it's so crazy how you can be like, you've never picked up a bar before in your life, you've never lifted a weight before, or you could be the strongest person in the world, and you'll have just as much respect from all of the women and the men in the Strongman community. Everyone's really quick to help you out and like support you and, you know, like cheer you on and drive across the country to come and watch you compete just to cheer on you, you know. I've
heard that about, that kind of community.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. Everyone wants to lift each other up, and yeah, it's a beautiful
It's a great thing when you create it somewhere and then it feeds itself because it becomes part of the culture, doesn't it? And it's the normal. Yeah. More of those. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks you for
coming in. Ciao.
Bye.
To show your support, please like and subscribe to this podcast. If you'd like to learn more and stay connected to Tribe Porty and Working for Progress, please visit tribeporty.org. There you can subscribe to our newsletter and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where we share monthly blogs offering insights into how we craft our working lives. This has been Working for Progress. We hope you join us again.